Good morning, team. It is Tuesday, February 16th, and yes, it is still snowy out there. Thanks so much for joining us. Grab a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, and let's jump into another episode of Coffee with Amy and Kevin.
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining. Grab your coffee. And we are going to get started. This is another episode in our agent interview series. And so we actually have two great broker guests here today. And we don't have a singular topic to cover. It's going to be a little bit of a random interview based on questions that we've gotten from other brokers who want to know what top producers do and what successful brokers do and how they think, mindset, actions, and a little bit more than that. So we'll toss it back to Amy to interview or introduce our two guests.
I'm really excited this morning, slightly scared, but mostly excited. No, I'm really excited to have Alley Ballard here, who's from our North Center office, and Vittoria Logli, who's from our Glenview office. So welcome, ladies. Thanks so much for joining us. And I think it's going to be a fun one today.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
I'm so excited. I can hardly stand it.
I can tell. We're really grateful you're joining us. And both of you have been with App Properties now a long time. Alley, I think 2011 and Vittoria 2013, if that's right.
Yep. I can't believe it.
Do I get another Rolex at 10 years?
Just have to.
10 million in 10 years.
You know what? Let's call Mike and Thad on the Zoom really quickly and see what they have to say.
I don't wear my first one. It's in my lockbox at the bank.
Every day. Come
Look
on.
at you.
Girl.
Love it.
Look at this hair and then look at your watch. The two don't connect.
So let's get into the first question. What do you love about real estate? Because you both have been in it for a long time. Let's start with you, Alley. What about real estate attracts you?
You know, I love people. I love interacting with people. I love houses. I love seeing houses. I love creeping into people's medicine cabinets, but not stealing anything. God, what do I like? I like the fact that you get to hang out with people and look at houses. Yeah, there's a whole business side. I get it. But it's a really fun job. I love my job. I love almost everything about it. We can delve into almost later.
How about you, Vittoria? What attracts you?
So mine. You know, people that say they get into real estate because they love houses only or design or whatever is bullshit. Because you gotta sorry. You gotta like people, right? I like people and I like animals. So for me, it's being able to meet awesome people. And honestly, I've met so many awesome animals too that have actually gotten me the listings or whatever because their animals pick me. And I've had people say that my dog picked you. So, I mean, I like people, I like animals, and I love to just really dive in and get to know, you know, the intricacies of someone's life. And it's never boring because I get bored very, very easily. And it's never, ever boring. It's never the same.
100%. You learn so much from people. You learn more from animals. I'm so happy you brought that up because you can connect with an animal on a level at first that you don't connect with a human. It's totally true.
Absolutely.
Sometimes ever. I mean, sometimes it's just easier to be surrounded by animals all the time, wouldn't you say?
100%.
A lot of times I like my dogs better than my kids.
There are days that I would probably say that too. Yes.
Right.
This is on video. We're in trouble now.
Don't show them this clip.
Cut it out, Kevin. All right, Alley, this one's for you. So I have actually seen your Facebook Lives and you've taken people through condos and houses. You know, it's clear in watching you in the business, you are very authentic in how you are. But, you know, it's interesting. A lot of people in this business sort of try so hard to be a chameleon, sort of be all things to everyone, you know, and this is a big part of discussions, I think, right now in real estate. You know, what would you recommend to agents, you know, about, you know, attracting others and being themselves versus, you know, trying to be something that they're not?
Yeah. It's a blessing that I am who I am. And it's also not a blessing. Like there's two sides to every story, right? So like my theory is you kind of have to have faith that everything's going the way it's supposed to. I have lost clients. I've been doing this 21 years.
But they're usually the asshole clients. They're the asshole clients you don't want anyway, right? The ones that you've lost.
Yeah, good, very good point. No. It's thank you for bringing that up. So it's like, what's your serenity worth?
100%.
Mine's priceless. Like, I don't care if I sell 80 million. I don't care if I want to feel good about what I do. So far, my personality and how I do business and stuff like that has worked really well for me. I have a ton of gay boy clients. Sorry, I'm not supposed to say. We have so much fun. Like, we just, I got my clients this pillow, gay owned, so it's good. Because everybody talks about it behind the scenes, like who owns the property.
Staging.
What?
You should use that for staging.
Honey, yeah. Right? I'm going to buy everybody at one of those pillows. It's totally worth it. But like, my clients become my friends, become my advocates. I'm their advocate. We interact, and I don't just have gay boy. I have everybody clients. But like, the authenticity piece, I think, is so important, because the moment I'm not authentic with something, I feel it. And then I'm like, like, I walk into a house, I'm like, guys, this house is shitty. Like, why would you buy this? And they're like, and it starts out on kind of this thing of like, okay, like, you can trust me. Like, yeah, I'm getting paid when you close. I get it. But I'm also not trying to be a salesperson. I'm the exact opposite of a salesperson. I am a consultant. That's it. I'm a conduit for information between all parties, and I'm a consultant. So, and that's what I love to do. So it's like, it feels authentic, but that's all.
Thanks, Alley, for sharing. Thanks. That's cool. And that serenity you talk about is something we're all looking for, right? You want to enjoy what we're doing. You want to enjoy who you work with. And I think the cool thing about real estate, going back to what we love about it, is that you get to run your business how you choose. Mm-hmm. And it gives you a lot of freedom in making sure that you do enjoy what you do. So with that, Vittoria, you've chosen to, build a team, but you have an assistant, right? That helps you in your business. What do you think is the most important thing that you've delegated to that assistant that helps you continue to grow?
Yep. So, I think that really having an assistant changed my life and really put me on a trajectory of doing more business, because I wasn't caught up in the minutia of all the BS, paperwork and things like that. Anything basically that's not client facing, I try and delegate to my assistant. Anything DMS related, I don't, I want nothing to do with the DMS if I can help it. Processing deals, scheduling things, anything that doesn't require me to be in front of a client, I just try and delegate and get rid of. And now my assistant's almost 100% virtually remote. Maybe she comes in once a month. So it's really possible to do that as well. You don't have to have somebody here in your office.
100%. My assistant's virtually remote. Right. She's so sassy. I love her. She's like, she yelled at me the other day. I was like, don't yell at me.
Keep you in your place.
Oh my God, girl.
Yeah.
That's a sign of a great assistant, if they're keeping both of you in your place, right? And
making
sure that you're doing the things that you need to be doing. Like, you shouldn't be working on the DMS and doing the administrative stuff. And that's probably been the key success for both of you, is, really recognizing I've got to be out and in front of clients.
100%. That's where our brilliance is, right? That's where we excel. So sitting in the office, working on paperwork and whatnot, that's not where I excel. You have to work in your brilliance, right? And being in front of people, I work in my brilliance, I guess. I don't know.
Honey, paperwork is not authentic to me.
Right.
No.
Right.
I love the term working in your brilliance. All right. So I have a question about your brilliance, about both of your brilliances out there. So for each of you, you do a lot of marketing, I think, to, stay in front of clients, but also to continue to grow your business. What's the single most important marketing outlet that each of you is using right now? And Alley, I'll have you go first.
That's so tough, because like last year we got thrown a curveball and we had to pivot. So like, if you were talking to me in like 2017, 18, 19, my marketing would be totally different. Actually, not totally different. I always do the most expensive, well, not the most expensive. I do the gold package at VHT where you see in and out, because my photographs, and I also chose a photographer. I have a film background. I chose a photographer who understands the camera and who understands content of the visual aspect of real estate. And we work together with the pictures, and I'm like, I don't like that. Like, set up over here. Let's try this. Let's try that. And we also do walkthrough videos, like you were saying, Amy. I do walkthrough videos. I know, and I know it's shocking. Like, I don't talk a lot during them, but when I do, it tends to be authentic. You know, I'm not trying to make something into something it isn't. I sell condos between 400,000 and $1 million too, and then I sell houses between 800 and 2 million. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm not trying to make it like, oh, it's so gorgeous. Like, it is what it is. Like, the house sells itself. And then I've been working with out of town buyers, and so I'll do FaceTime with them. That's an art form. It really is. Like, if you move too fast, they get sick. If you stay too close, they can't see anything. You have to do wide angle. You have to do slow, and you have to, hard for me, but you have to shut up. Let them interact with the space via camera, right? On the camera. It's hard, but it works. I just did a huge house in Evanston for a client in Portland, and he was like, that was great. I feel like I don't even have to be there. I'm like, well, you do, because eventually you have to move, honey. Right? But until then.
I love it. I love it. All great stuff. And it's true. I mean, all of us had to pivot with the pandemic, and it sounds like, you know, you didn't miss a beat. I've actually seen you on Facebook, and I know you haven't missed a beat. So Vittoria, for you, marketing, what's been the single most important outlet or thing that you've used for your business?
Well, I think, you know, things have evolved over the last few years, and we've all had to change and pivot, as we all say now. For me, social media has been huge. I do videos. I'll do very coming soons and whatnot, but then also engaging with people when they comment and they like. I mean, I had an agent from Texas that we must be following each other that commented about my post yesterday. It was 12 below zero, and my husband actually put up all the signs, and he was like, oh my God, like, what, you know, we would shut down. I was like, Chicagoans never shut down. Doesn't matter how cold it is, you know, like, get some, you know, like, skin here. We're tough as nails. But so I'm responding to people. I'm going back and forth, and that, you know, it makes it more real. I think a lot of us have obviously live in social media too. It's a love-hate a little bit for me. But I think being there and engaging and just sort of, I use primarily Instagram and Facebook. Twitter, and, you know, it was a little too political for me, so I kind of stayed away from it. I like the pictures. I like the fun stuff. I like the memes and the jokes. Like, I don't like enough of the political BS. So I was staying away from the Twitter. But I would say, you know, the social media has really been huge. Because you can't have as much face-to-face interaction. So you have to use a virtual interaction to you know, kind of jive with people.
All good points. Marcy, did you hear that? Vittoria's husband puts up her signs.
He totally does. He's my rock star. That was my Valentine's gift yesterday.
Honey, get in this bitch. I mean, she brought me coffee.
Yeah. Well, that's something. And speaking of coffee, do you know what time it is?
Oh, where's my mug?
It's 9:25. But you know what? Yeah. Lesbian relationships are not all they're cracked up to be. Marcy! She won't even answer me now.
Marcy may want to come out for this, because it is now time.
Oh, shit.
Percolator.
It's time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator.
My friends tell me on this, they would tease me.
All right.
They would scream at me
better
and tease
for a
me.
morning coffee show.
Well,
The percolator.
So it's the speed round. All right. So first, Alley, you have a team. How do you stay sane?
Drugs. No, I'm just kidding. So we meet every week, Monday at noon. We all get to explain what we're doing, like what path we're on in terms of deals, closings. One of my guys still does rentals. And so we try to interact and we try to talk to each other about what's going on. And I think that makes a lot. And we also text each other every day. We keep it light. Like if somebody screws up, it's not the end of the world. This is not brain surgery. This is real estate. Like it can all be fixed. Don't take it too seriously, right? Like it is what it is.
I love it. All right, Vittoria, what's one thing you believe every agent could do to make transactions run more smoothly?
Oh, that's a tough one.
You're getting all the tough questions.
Okay, transactions run more smoothly. Sometimes you got to have a filter. I know it's really hard, but sometimes it's not important. You know, like you should not be telling the other agent all the stuff that your client's screaming at you about what's wrong with the house and, blah, and the reason why they're not coming up in price. Like you got to filter that stuff. And it's hard for me because I don't really, filter that much, but everyone doesn't have to know everything all of the time. That's why you're there. You have to pick and choose what you choose to communicate to like an agent that you're negotiating with, that their client is screaming in your ear, your client screaming in your ear, right? You got to use some filters and use your best judgment. And you can't just tell everybody everything. And holding information back is not being inauthentic. It's just, I think, being a smart business person. It's like a game of chess, right? I always say negotiations are like a game of chess. You got to think about the next steps and the next moves of what other people are going to say and do. So it's good to have some information that you hold back.
Got it. That's good. Now, Alley, back to you. A new team member starts. You bring someone onto your team. What's the first thing you tell them to do?
I first tell them to gather all their contacts and figure out who they can rely on as an advocate in real estate. Like there are so many people in real estate. I brought Matt on the year of the pandemic, and he did fine. He's great. I first tried, like, your question is really good in the sense that there are ways to bring on a team member, but it also matters who that team member is. Matt came from managing buildings. I knew he had that down. He knows construction. He knows maintenance. That's not what he needed to know. He needed to know who was his advocate in real estate and how could I help him get a deal done, and what the steps were to getting a deal done. Now he basically never calls me anymore. It's great. I just make money.
That means you've done your job. That means you did a great job.
Totally, right? I mean, he's so good though. Like Glenn, Nicole, and Matt, dream team. I love them. Love.
You've hired the right people then, right?
I did, yeah.
That's awesome. All right, keeping the speed round moving. Vittoria, how do you keep your team members motivated?
Oh, that's a tough one. I don't know. I send them stupid jokes all the time in text and like dumb memes and things. I just feel like a good laugh helps everybody sort of, relieve some stress, because sometimes we can all be a little too serious and take one another a little too seriously. So just trying to keep it light if possible, because everything else around us is so heavy right now, and in general sometimes in our business. So just trying to be like, let's just keep it all in perspective. Like you said, everything will work out one way or another, and if it doesn't, it wasn't meant to be. So just kind of trying to keep everybody level-headed as much as possible without going insane.
So smart.
Yeah, levity. And also it helps you stay connected to them too through something that's fun.
Absolutely.
So that's cool.
Since we can't meet for drinks, really.
Right. It's not as fun over Zoom, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. All right. So Alley, question, and this, both of you actually do this. This is something we looked up, and without turning this into a commercial, because that's not the point, but both of you close a proper title often. Like the attorneys you work with close a proper title. Is there a difference closing a proper title?
Yeah, 100%. So
I don't even know, because I don't ever use it. Like, what other title companies are there? It's so, it's such a no-brainer, and that's one thing you never have to worry about. Like when it's title, I don't think about a thing. I know it's going to get done. I know everyone's going to be happy, and it's just something that is just done and taken care of. And I get nervous when I hear, oh, we're closing in Oak Brook and the property's in Glenview, and I'm like, what you're making somebody go an hour? Like my head starts popping off my body, and it makes me crazy. I almost was to the point where I was going to tell people I'm no longer going to work with you if you don't use my attorney and proper title, because I have it blowing up, over something like that. We've come so far. That's the home stretch. That's the last 10%. It can't go south. It has to be a good experience for everyone.
Girl, who's your attorney?
Zach Sims.
Yeah. See, I'm Kim Freeland. 100%. And I love Shane Morey. Kim Freeland, they are so good, and the title company, those two work so closely. And if you need numbers from proper title 4 days ahead of time, you're gonna get them, because some buyers get nervous and stuff. They're like, "What are the numbers?"
The best,
and it's
title app. Have you used the app? Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
I do that for people sometimes as part of my listing presentation. They're like, what are my closing costs and whatever. I go, let's take a scenario, right? And then we put together a scenario, and I'm able to send them and do all kinds of stuff with the app. It's incredible.
100%.
For those of you that aren't using the app, you absolutely should be. You're missing out. The proper title.
I'm not.
Well, but then you get the information from proper title, clearly, right? You just go.
Yeah, and I do it old school. I add up closing costs in front of my clients, and they're like,
no, you need the app.
I know. Girl.
It's easy. I promise.
51. Mama old. Look at this. Hold on.
Oh.
What? Look at that streak. That shit is
excuse.
hot.
No excuse.
I
just got my
worked. I worked through all those. Okay.
I love it. This is awesome. But I do think proper title is such a really great resource for so many agents. And it's really so easy just to, ask your attorney for your deals to be able to close it at proper title, because it's seamless, but they're also super competitive. All right. So both of you, we want to wrap with a really fun question. You moved today to an isolated island. You might really love that. You have 90 seconds to leave behind what you've learned about being in real estate and life in general. All right, you got to tell me. Let's start with you, Vittoria.
Oh, shit. I have to talk about real estate when I'm going on an island? Okay, I would say, just keep going. Don't worry about if the deals don't come together, or if you get rejected. Rejection's just another hurdle. You got to get through stuff, right? Just keep going. If this is something you truly love and you love people, just keep going. Don't let any negative impact or rejections stop you in your tracks. And don't let fear hold you back. Just keep going. And you have to plow through that stuff, because, for longevity, you can't make it in this business if you don't have a tough skin. So maybe toughen up a little bit.
Yeah. Awesome. Great advice. All right, Alley.
Fear. 2 acronyms are they? So everything and run, which is fear. Face everything and recover, which is faith. I definitely instill faith into my business. Things that are supposed to happen will happen. I just have to, my feet are smarter than my head. Sometimes I just have to keep going forward. And I know it sounds so simple and so kind of but it's exactly what Vittoria said. It's have faith, have positive mental attitude.
For some people.
What's that?
It's not simple for some people. It's really hard.
Yeah.
They have to get out of their own heart and head. And like you said, just
100%. You and I should sit down and talk, because we run our business the same way.
I would love that.
Yeah. We'll double mask it.
All right. This is awesome. If we could spend every morning with you two, I think every day would be a little bit brighter. So thank you.
Tomorrow.
Thank you. It's such a
Call
pleasure.
me tomorrow.
Everybody your mug really fast, Alley.
Oh, yeah.
It says assert yourself.
Oh, wait. Can you see it?
There we go.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Got it on special for us.
Mark.
I'm pissing everywhere. I'm pissing on
Mark.
What are those called? Fire hydrants.
Fire hydrants, yeah.
Well, thank you both. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for the opportunity. Take care, guys.
Have a great day. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. Sell a lot of real estate.
Well,
Marcy, I'm out of coffee. She's not even answering me anymore.
You're in trouble.
Honey, every day.